Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Yellow Studio Live. If you're here, say hello in the chat. I'm Blume Bauer. I am the founder of Yellow Studio. I help artists grow their businesses with AI and print on demand so that you can make money and get back to working in the art studio. I am so excited. Today is episode 50. Woo! Time sure flies when we're all having fun together. Hi, Beth. Welcome, welcome. I cannot believe it's the 50th episode. That just blows my mind. It just feels like a week or two ago that we started. I can't believe it. Thank you, Beth. She says, congratulations on episode 50. I am just, I'm over the moon, thrilled. Thank you, Beth. Thank you. So tonight to celebrate, I'm gonna show you all of the ways I use Claude, and some of the ways might be new to you because some things just recently came out. Some you may never have tried. I hope that I give you some cool, new, fun things to go try with your Claude assistant at home. Hi, Jill. Welcome. Thanks for the celebration. Oh, Beth had her live set to private this morning. Oh, darn it. I was wondering where you were. I went to check in and I'm like, she's not there. And then I thought maybe you had some other things going on. Yes, we were missing you. So let's dive in. Who uses Claude? I'm so curious if you already use Claude, if you've never used Claude. I'm curious. Who uses Claude and who doesn't? Beth. Beth uses Claude. Yes. And a lot of people are switching away from ChatGPT to Claude ever since ChatGPT signed a contract with the government to share its user data. And so that makes it a little more, what does the government not have access to of ours? I'm not sure. Do I know the real truth of that? I don't know. Do I know what has to be subpoenaed and what doesn't? I don't know. But what I do love is that Claude has made a statement saying that they will never sell our user data. And I really appreciate that. So I think that is what sent a lot of people over to Claude away from Chat. Chat still does a couple of things that Claude doesn't do, but Claude does some things that Chat doesn't do. So, it's a toss-up. And now that Nano and Banana, Chat, my reason for keeping Chat truly was for product mockups, but as Nano Banana gets better and better, I may not need it anymore. We shall see. We shall, as they say, it will all come out in the wash. Jilly says she's switching when she has a minute. Yeah, it takes time to switch over if you're going to switch all your content over. One really cool thing you can do is, if you want to do that, is you can go to your ChatGPT and export your data, and it will export every single thing you've ever talked about with ChatGPT. You can download that as I don't know if it downloads as a JSON file. It downloads as a file that Claude can read, and then you can upload that file to Claude and get started over there. So that's kind of a faster way to make that all happen. Hi, Delane. Welcome. Thanks for coming to celebrate my 50th episode. So excited. So I left up this little message at the top of the screen here that is letting us know that we can get 2 times more usage on weekends and outside the hours of 5 to 11 Pacific time or 12 to 6 Mountain time on weekdays. So that's really cool to know. So right now we're getting 2 times more usage because we're outside of that 5 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. Very excited now through March 28th. So celebrations, woo! So I wanted to leave that on there and let you know that that was coming up. So where do I want to start? I think what I want to start with is, let me get that back there. Okay. I like to be able to see you guys chat, so I try to keep it in view. So one of the new things that I noticed that Claude does that you may or may not have noticed is that Claude came out with a way for you to speak and have a natural conversation with Claude. Now, of course, Claude is a computer, so it's not going to be as natural as speaking with a friend, but it's pretty cool. And you can change the voice, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But let me show you how you can chat with Claude. I'm going to ask Claude, let's say, hi, Claude. Good evening. We are chatting about my 50th episode on my YouTube live right now. And I'm so excited. And I'm wondering if you could write me a post for tomorrow to share the replay.
That's wonderful, Blume. 50 episodes is a real milestone. You should be proud. I'd love to help you craft a post for the replay. To make it really fit your style and community, could you tell me a bit about what happened in episode 50? What was the theme or what made it special?
Well, we are talking about using you, Claude, and all of the different cool and fun features that you have to help us with our art businesses.
Ah, that's brilliant. A whole episode celebrating what Claude can do for creative work. I love that. Here's a post you could use. Episode 50 is here and it's all about Claude. We dove deep into how you can use Claude to level up your art business, from brainstorming and copywriting to project planning and creative problem solving. Whether you're a designer, illustrator, or content creator, there's something in this one for you. Watch the replay and discover the features that could transform how you work. Link in bio. Feel free to adjust the tone or add any specific examples from the episode that really stood out. Does that capture the vibe you're going for?
Yes, that sounds great. Thank you so much, Claude. Have a great evening.
You too, Blume. Congratulations again on 50 episodes. That's a huge accomplishment. Enjoy sharing the replay and thanks for everything you're doing to help creators explore what's possible. Bonne nuit.
And then you can hit stop. So as you can see, I clicked on these little sound lines. You know, it's like an equalizer down here at the bottom. If you hover over it, it says use voice mode. You click on that. And unlike chat, where when you use voice mode, you talk and then you hit send when you're done, this is just a conversation back and forth. So you hit voice mode and you can talk, and then Claude will talk back, and you can talk and Claude will talk back. Now, I have to tell you how delighted I was that I found a voice that was a French woman, because in my mind, Claude has always been my chic French marketing assistant. And the fact that there was a French voice just made me over the moon excited. So I really think that's fun. Now, it does slow down the process, in my opinion, talking with her sometimes, but it is really great. For the other day, I was trying to figure out how to do a task, and I was able to talk to Claude leave the window open with Claude and leave the voice mode open and talk and say, okay, now I'm seeing this. Now I'm seeing this. And you can interrupt her if she's talking too slow, or like, giving you too much detail. Then you can just stop her and say, well, wait, I'm not even seeing that part one that you gave me, or that step one. And that's what happened. I just interrupted and I said, oh, wait a second. step one isn't there. I'm seeing this, this, and this, and this. And then she was able to say, oh, okay, do that one. And, and then walk me through the whole process. So that was really fantastic way to use the voice mode. It was like having an assistant here walk me through all the steps, like an IT person, and tell me exactly how to get the task done. So that was really, really cool. Beth says it's Bessica. It does sound a little bit like her. I think German and French sound very similar, especially in the accent. And Jill says, all I hear is want to play a game. Yeah, for sure. Beth says, oh, you can't see them. They're under my photo. Okay, let's see if there's a way for you to see the voice mode. Maybe when I go to projects. Okay, can you see it here now? Let's see. Yes, okay. So when I'm in a project, you can see it here. And these are the little, if you scroll over them, they actually move like little sound equalizer, like the equalizer board has the lines. And so it's right here for voice mode. So it's really cool. It's a cool new feature. I would love if we could still have like a way to record our voice memo into Claude and then hit send like we had on chat. There are some apps that do that though. I think one is called Whisper. That's what someone was recommending. I think Sabrina was recommending Whisper the other day, or somebody was. I think it was Sabrina. And so the Whisper app will let you do that, and it'll let you do it across many different places on your computer too, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that's a fun new thing that Claude just came out with recently. I'd say like a week or two ago. It's really fun. And then, I was going to show you where you can change the voices. Go to settings and then scroll down to voice settings. And I didn't know you could change the fonts and all of that too. So you can have background animation, disabled, enabled. You can have light mode, dark mode, or auto. So it goes light and dark depending on the time of day. You can have different fonts, and then you can have rounded is the French voice. I'll let you hear these other voices.
Betty bought a bit of butter, but the bit of butter Betty bought was bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter, but a bit of better butter will make my batter better. So Betty bought a better bit of butter.
Amid the mists and coldest frosts, with stoutest wrists and loudest boasts, he thrusts his fists against the posts, and still insists he sees the ghosts.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. A fuzzy bear was Wuzzy. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he?
If practice makes perfect and perfect needs practice, I'm perfectly practiced and practically perfect.
And then
She sells seashells by the seashore. The shells she sells are surely from the sea. So if she sells seashells on the seashore, then I am sure she sells seashore shells.
I was so excited to hear her voice. It sounded just like I imagined her. Beth says, what does the Whisper app do? So the Whisper app lets you record your voice into the chat box and then hit send instead of doing the talking back and forth mode. And it will let you do that across many different platforms. I think so. Like if you're on, don't quote me because I'm not sure which platforms it works on. But for example, if it works on Facebook, you could do voice to text for writing a response to someone in the comments, or voice to text across different areas, like maybe your Google Docs or other things like that. But I'm not sure what apps the Whisper app connects to, but I do know it connects to Claude because I think it was Sabrina that was mentioning it the other day, but I'm not positive it was her. Beth says all the voices are pretty good, better than the other voices I've heard. I thought so too. I thought they all sounded, nice. None of them are scratchy on the ears. I don't know how else to put that, like where you're like, oh. Jill says, your neon looks like it's blinking, or my headache is much worse than I realized it. Oh, I'm sorry you have a headache, Jill. And it's possible that it looks like that right now. So what happens with neon is that it has like a pulsing light to have light, and the faster the pulsing, the less you see it happening. But what's happening right now, I have it sped up as much as it can be. And then what happens is when it's sunny like this and it's on, I think that's what's making that pulsing thing. But hopefully, I don't know. I might have to, I'll try out some other settings and see if a brighter setting is better, but I don't think it is. I think the dimmest setting is best for it to go. But I think it's how bright it is in here. So I'll have to work that out, figure out if it can be different. She says, I won't look. Oh, I'm sorry. I hate headaches. They're so terrible. Okay, so Beth got it. That's great. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to show you is Claude Projects. And we talked about this a little bit before, but you can build a project with Claude. And when I first started, I broke up the Yellow Studio from the blogs for the Yellow Studio, from the newsletter from the Yellow Studio. And then, of course, the Yellow Boutique is separate. Client work is separate. AI imagery. I started one for my YouTube channel, but then I ended up just doing that all in the Yellow Studio. So I have all of these different projects. And I think if I were to do it again, now that I know how projects work, I would make each project for each holistic business. So like I would put the blog information in the Yellow Studio, and I've actually been thinking about doing this recently, condensing it all. Put all the blog data into the Yellow Studio, put the newsletter into the Yellow Studio, anything that's Yellow Studio in there. Oh, social media posts, put all of that into there. And then that way it's all a holistic project that every part knows what the other parts are doing. The way that I have this split up now made sense to me in the beginning because I thought that they would get, that it would get too big or too full. But it turns out it takes a lot to get it full. So let me show you. When I click on the Yellow Studio, you can see here are all the files I've put in. I've put in my brand voice. I told it not to make art supply references. I thought that was really cheesy when I first started using AI. It would make all these art supply references. It was very on the nose. Everything it wrote at first was very on the nose. So I've done a lot of training and teaching it of how I talk, what I say, all of those things. And so I've got my course modules in here. I've got, we wrote these unique selling points. Oh no, I wrote those and then put them in here. This is a directive, my bio. And if you can see, I can click on here and I just copy my information in. So you click the little plus to add a file, and you can either upload one from a device like a PDF or something. But I find that adding text content to this files section is the lowest, the smallest, most compressed way to add a file. And so you'll use up less of your project capacity that way by adding it as text. If you add it as a PDF, it's going to add all of the formatting and everything else into that, that file that gets uploaded. And so it's going to be a lot bigger. It's going to take up a lot more room. So I like to do the add text content. And if you want to do that from a PDF, just open the PDF, do Command A for all, select the whole thing, and then just do Command V, paste into the text document, and you'll have text. You can also get things from GitHub, and you can get things from your Google Drive if you connect your Google Drive. So it's pretty cool. You can also click here for instructions and give it some instructions. I don't have that many instructions in here now because I put all of my data here in these files now. When I first started, it didn't have projects, so I would just put the instructions and then do that. So anyway, so then you have all of your chats here. Beth was talking about how when she went back to her old chats, they were not there. They were truncated. So I was curious. Let's go look at an old one, like really old. Because that day you mentioned it, I looked at mine, an older one, but not super old. And it was all there. And I was really shocked to hear that yours was truncated. And then you said your Claude said that it couldn't keep the data. So I thought that was interesting. But I'm going to show you a cool, oh, this is a short one. So that doesn't really help. Let me go back. Let me find one that I know is longer. Oh, here we go. I think this one was kind of a long one. This was finding AEO gaps. Okay, continue to analyze AEO performance gaps. The other thread got locked up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was in a thread and then it got, sometimes if your thread gets too long, it will get like locked up is what I called it, but like stuck. And so if you start a new thread, usually you can carry over from the last one. It does have memory now. It didn't used to have memory. So let me see if I can find the one right before that. Because that means that one was really long. What was that one? It was like, oh, the AEO. That's right. It was AEO. Okay. Analyzing AEO. So this is the one that was really long. Let's go see if it's still really long. I'm really curious. It's still pretty long. It seems to all be there. We'll be able to tell from my first prompt at the top. Beth, I'm curious. You have a paid Claude too, right? She said she's had it drop parts of her chat too, like recent questions and answers just disappeared. I have a feeling it could be your connectivity. Yes, a paid account. Yeah, because look at this. This is like, this thread was so long that it got locked up. It basically got stuck and I had to start a new one, and it's all here. I was looking at my AO. Can you remind me what the acronym stands for? Looks for the in analytics. Dive in deeper. I couldn't remember for the long time because at first it was GEO, which was generative engine optimization, and then it switched to AEO. And for the longest time, I couldn't remember what AEO stood for. Just AI engine optimization. Not that much harder. Anyway, so it gave me an analysis. So this is really cool. Gave me, and then we went through and it gave me all kinds of ideas for how to improve my AEO and make it even better. So that was really great. But yeah, it's all here. It's a very, very long, very, 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 very long. But I was curious about that. I also do something that I won't have to do anymore after I show you guys this fun trick in a little bit. But I actually copy paste. So you can copy your own, entry. And so what I do as I'm going, I keep a Google Doc open and I copy my text and then I put it on the Google Doc and then I put a couple spaces and then I copy Claude's. I go to the bottom here of the last thing she said. I copy that and put it underneath the Google Doc. And then I just keep the whole conversation, especially when I'm having an important conversation like this that I know I'm going to want to refer back to. Now, if I'm asking like, I don't know, a question about the world, or a question that pops into my head, or what was the name of a song, or, something like that, I'm probably not going to copy into Google Doc. But when I'm having a strategy conversation like this, I want to keep all of the information. And so then I'd copy this and put it in. And as I go, like I would type this up to her and then hit send. And as she's writing, I copy this, paste it in while I'm waiting for her writing. And then I go down to the bottom of her writing and copy that and put it into the Google Doc. And then that way, I've got, thanks, Jill, hit the like button. And then that way I've got all of that important information that I'm going to want to reference later. Part of the reason I started doing that is I couldn't find which thread it was that I was talking about the thing often. So that was my main reason for starting to put them in Google Docs. But then when I heard about Marisol losing her entire conversation with ChatGPT, and it was like this really important long conversation that she had, and she felt like she had to start all over, that made me really nervous. And so I started doing that even more diligently, doing the Google Docs. And then now hearing about Beth losing some. And so it just is kind of a good practice to get in the habit of, except for that. I mean, it's still probably good, even with the trick I'm going to show you, because if it does disappear mid-conversation, then you're still going to be out of luck with the trick I'm going to show you. But the trick I'm going to show you is pretty cool, pretty groovy. Okay, so what else did I want to show you? Let's see here. Oh, I keep clicking the wrong thing to get my little list. I've got a little list here. Okay. Oh my gosh. Did you know that Claude can check your emails, read through them, see what's important, see what you need to respond to, summarize them, and even write a proposed response for you and put it in your drafts? If you have Gmail, you can connect Claude to your Gmail, and this is up to you. It's up to you, privacy issues, etc. I'm fine with it because I don't really have anything in my Gmail that's personal. My Gmail is used for business. I have the occasional friend say hi, on email. In my Blume Bauer Gmail, that's the one I'm connecting. And then anything outside of that is not connected to Claude. So I'm okay with that. But I totally get it if you don't want Claude in your emails, but it is super helpful if you're trying to be a solopreneur and trying to get a lot of work done. So I want to show you the use case that I used the other day. I knew I was coming up on my 50th episode, and I wanted to do something about, let's go to the top. So I wanted to do something fun, 50th episode. And I thought, what would be fun is to go ahead and send out some press releases that I've reached my 50th episode. I'm the only woman in the AI world going live 5 days a week on YouTube, and that we could find. I had Claude search, I had chat search. No one could find anyone that's going live 5 days a week talking about AI. Well, and I talk about print on demand, but they're tied together most of the time. And so we looked and we couldn't find anyone doing the same thing. And I thought, well, this would be a really fun thing to send a press release about. But the thing about press releases is they're super time consuming. I mean, you basically need to hire someone to do that for you, because each one needs to be written, addressed to the particular entity that you're writing to. You want to write something personal about their business in it. You want it to address their actual business, not just be like a form letter that goes out to everybody. And that's how I would have done it normally. Oh, Beth has to go. Miss you, Beth. Mwah. The replay will be there whenever you're ready. Thank you, Jill. She says nothing compares to Blume Bauer. You're so sweet. See you tomorrow, Beth. Yes. So I wanted to write this press release, but it's something every time I've wanted to write a press release, I've never actually executed it. Well, not never. I have done it for like events and stuff, but I haven't done it in years because it just takes so much time. You have to write your basic press release and then adjust it for each entity that you're sending it to. You have to find the emails that they go to. You have to write them all up, and then you have to review them and then send them, right? And I was so excited when I could connect Gmail for this particular reason. Well, also for searching for anything important. And that's a really nice feature too. At 4:00 in the afternoon, I have it just search, are there any important emails that I need to answer? And can you summarize them for me so I have an idea of what they are? And then I go and into my email and I answer those particular emails. But for this purpose, it was genius. I mean, this goes beyond that so far. So Claude wrote the press releases and put them in my Gmail drafts. And I'm going to show you what that looks like, actually. Let me go there. It's pretty cool. Okay. Let me tab. So what she did is she wrote all of these press pitches about my 50th episode and what I do on YouTube Live. And what I can do now is open each one, review what it says. I go through the copy and I read it all from start to finish to make sure it all sounds like me, to make sure it sounds like something I would say. And keep in mind, I have trained Claude for a long, long time on how I talk. That is a process to go through to where it gets to talking like you and not like just everyone else's AI. Oh, Jill says, remember us when you get famous. Of course. You all are my OGs. So I can go through this email. I can make sure it all looks okay. I can check the email address that Claude got if I want to. I can check all of this. But when I'm ready, I can just hit send. And then there you go. I've got them done. So now instead of having to write each one, figure out the address, email addresses, all those things, now I can just review what Claude did and hit send. Review, hit send. Review, hit send. I sent 20 of them today. I was so proud of myself. I've never sent out that many press releases other than for events because I just never had the time. I just never had the time. It's just a very time-consuming task. Now, I believe that Claude would also send them for me, but I'm not quite there yet. I still want to make sure it's human. I want to make sure that I've approved the words that are going out. Sometimes every once in a while she'll say something that I would never say, and so I really like to make sure that it's what I say. It's funny. I was in a workshop today, and they were talking about how nobody wants to read an AI newsletter. And I cracked up. I was laughing out loud because that's why I handwrite. That's why I write my own newsletter. Like the part that I write in the beginning and the one I used to have the big, longer studio notes in there, that I write that always myself because I want you guys, if you're getting something from me, I feel like it should be from me. And so every week I sit down and I write that out, what happened that week, what's going on, what I want to draw your attention to, etc. Oh, thank you, Delane. 1 million followers. Yes, come on. Gosh, that would be well, I'll probably faint. We'll have to have a Zoom party. But yeah, so it's the coolest thing. And now I've got 7 more in there because those particular 7 bounce back. Claude got the email address wrong. So it was no big deal. I told Claude, hey, these bounced back. And she said, great, I'll do more research and get a better email address. And she fixed those and gave me those drafts. So really cool task. It's so nice having an assistant that I don't have to pay. Well, I guess I do pay. I pay $20 a month. That's about the cheapest assistant you can get ever. And it's a computer. You know, I'm not wearing her out. I'm not tiring her out. I'm not abusing her by having her work at 11 p.m. because inspiration struck, you know. You couldn't do that with a real assistant. You have to wait till the next day. You have to like make notes, talk to Claude tomorrow about this, you know. Instead, you can just hop on. You can also be mid-conversation and be like, you know what? I'm going to make dinner. I'm hungry. And you can walk away, make dinner, and come back and be like, okay, pick up where we left off. I just love that. Jilly Bean says, manifesting. Yes. 1 million. Yes. I mean, I'd be happy with like 1,000 at this right now, but 1 million sounds amazing. Okay, so that is really cool. Delane, do you use Claude? I asked the gals at the beginning, but I think you missed that part, and I was curious if you already use Claude. So that is that, and I loved that exciting part. Oh, you can also, my next thing is that you can connect. Oh, let me show you where you can connect also. It's in here, I believe. Yes. Okay. So you go to your settings, you go to your initials down here in the bottom left corner. Think big, think bigger. Okay, Jill, I will. Okay. I'm thinking big. You go to your initials down here in the bottom left corner and then go to your settings. So you go to settings, and in here, you're going to go to connectors. And you can connect whichever apps you'd like to connect. You can browse the connectors. They have so many things you can connect to. You can connect to your Canva for Claude to start a Canva document for you or Canva graphic for you. You can connect your Google Calendar so Claude can check your calendar and see what's coming up or what what you might be missing. I think the calendar thing could be really useful, except for I use Notion calendar, so I would use that through Notion. But I was thinking a useful use case for the calendar, connecting the calendar, would be if you're on the run a lot, you could grab your phone, open up Claude and just say, Claude, what meetings do I have this week? Or what appointments do I have? Or what do I have going on this week? If you were out and about, maybe someone invited you to lunch on Friday and you're like, I have no idea. So you could just pull up Claude and say, hey, Claude, what do I have on Friday? Can I go to lunch? You know, whatever. So I think could be a really cool use case for connecting a calendar. And then, of course, I'm sure there's a million other ways. You could also have Claude add things to your calendar as well. Delane said, I must have missed it. Yes, she uses Claude to help her with some business questions and prompts, but she's learning so much tonight. Oh, good. She lives by her Google Calendar, but this puts on a whole nother level. Yes, doesn't it? So wild. Yeah, so you could be in Claude, like strategizing stuff, and you could say, hey, Claude, put that on my calendar for Friday. I want to remember to do that. Or put that on my calendar for next week or next month or 6 months from now. And then you don't have to go to your calendar, click through to 6 months from now, pick the date, write it in. Claude can put it in there for you. It's like a real assistant. This is as close as we've gotten to a real assistant, and it's jazzing me up. That's for sure. So I have my Gmail connected, my Notion connected. And Notion, if you have Notion, this is what I'm going to show you tonight. But I'm sure you could probably do this with some other connectors too. But I have Notion, so I'm going to show you the Notion connection, the cool thing it does with the Notion connection. And hopefully, if you have one of these other things like Slack or whatever else you use for creating documents, then that might work great for you. So you can see there's just so many in here. There's Slack, Atlassian, which is Trello, has Trello, HubSpot, Monday, Gamma, Asana, just looking at ones that I know, N8N, Hugging Face, Stripe. I don't know if I'd connect it to a financial tool. I'm a little leery of that still. I feel like as long as things don't have my bank account info, I'm good with that. Microsoft Learn. There's so many apps in here. I don't even know what they do. I've never used them before. Mermaid Chart. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. It's mermaids. Who doesn't want to be a mermaid? WordPress. I wonder if you connected it to WordPress, if it could make updates to your website. I don't use WordPress for websites, but that would be something cool to try. Your Google Drive, your Airtable, if you use that. GoDaddy. If you had your website through GoDaddy, maybe you could do it through there. Do updates through there. PayPal, again, with the banking. I don't know. That's just me. PDF Viewer, Wix. Oh, it has Wix. Maybe I'll connect it to Wix and see if that does, if it can up my website or anything like that. There's just so many apps. Like, I'm just still scrolling. So many things. Zapier. I think this has grown since the last time I was in here. Actually, this list has gotten bigger. Base 44. What is Mother Duck? Isn't that cute? What a cute name. MailerLite. Another cute name, Melon. Calendly. A lot of people have Calendly. Just so many. Wyndham Hotel and Resorts. I've stayed at a lot of Wyndhams. Would it book reservations for me? I don't know. That's pretty cool. I don't know. Or find me the reservation and then I could click through and finish the booking. That would save a lot of time. TurboTax. Oh my gosh, it definitely got longer. It was not this long last time I looked. And that was just a handful of days ago. Apple Notes, Spotify, PowerPoint. Oh, PowerPoint, Word. Anthropic has its own PowerPoint and Word you could connect it to. And then it could create Word documents and PowerPoint documents for you through Claude. This is just, it's mind-blowing what it could do. Microsoft Clarity, that is such a cool app. I'll have to show you guys how that works one night. It's free too. Check out Microsoft Clarity. 11 Labs. Oh yeah, I bet you this is just going to keep getting longer and longer and longer over time too. So yeah, those are all the things it connects to. I've got it connected to Google Drive, Gmail, and Notion for now. So I wanted to show you how I can... Oh, so for the Google Drive, I wanted to say that connecting it to your Google Drive doesn't create it can't create a Google Doc, but it can create the document that you copy over to a Google Doc, but it can search your Google Drive, and that is ginormous. It can search and find data. So because I keep my Claude conversations in my Google Drive and my ChatGPT conversations in there too, I could say, Claude, can you go in and look up all of the strategy sessions I've had with you and with Kate, I call her, with you and with Kate, and give me the top strategy that you think I should do next out of all our strategy conversations. And then she could come up with that because she could go in, see those files, read it, come back and tell me. And I think that is just like, that's an assistant. That's an assistant. That's something you'd put your assistant on. You'd say, hey, I need you to go through all my strategy files and put it all together into one document and then prioritize what you think is next most important and then go in order. It's just wild. Just wild. Delane says, wow, girl, I had no idea about that. I just started writing in the homepage box to Claude and never looked at anything on the left. Shame on me. No, it's okay. I mean, it makes sense. The left hand is just these little, these little graphics, teeny little icons. You wouldn't think to click on them. I wouldn't think to until I learned how to do it. And it is so many apps, Jill. It's crazy how many it can connect to. And do I have a Claude folder in Google Drive? No. So I keep the different conversations in the different folders in my Google Drive. So in Google Drive, I have a Yellow Studio folder. And then under that, I have all the subfolders. And so one of my subfolders is strategy. And so that'll be any strategy conversations I have with Claude. But then I have an AEO/SEO folder. And then that has any of those conversations in there, plus any other ideas or work I've done on that. So I do it by category versus just like Claude, period, because then it would be really hard for me to find what I need, except for I didn't know this was coming, that she would be able to search and find all of these things for me. So I think it's pretty amazing that I can do that. So now I'm going to show you something else really fun. Let me go get it. Oh, not Google Drive. I want my Notion. Notion. Okay, so let me go here. So here is my Notion dashboard. This is a dashboard that I created. It has some of my favorite quotes that keep inspiring me at the top. And then it has tasks all listed out based on subject. And then I can check those off as they're done. I have a little note to myself about dimensions for website images. I have my calendar is here, but I have to figure out why this calendar isn't synced to my desktop calendar for Notion. I haven't done that yet. It's on my to-do list. But so once this is connected, it would show all of my things that I have in my Notion calendar. And then I created this little section for like learning, my online classes, all of that. My YouTube channel stuff, my online presence, how-tos. How to use Bridge. I want to teach you guys how to do that too. It's really cool. So I created this Notion dashboard. And then what happens is Notion can create lots more dashboards, lots more documents, lots more whatever you need. So what I did in Claude is I went to Claude and we had that entire conversation about the press releases. And at the end, I said, hey, Claude, you're connected to my Google Drive. Can you make me a Google Doc of our conversation and what my to-dos are from this strategy session? What do I need to do next? And she came back and said, well, I can't make you a Google Doc because I don't actually have access to create a Google Doc. I can just see your Google Drive, but I could make you a Notion doc. And I thought, well, let's try it. I didn't have much faith in it being that good. Ladies, it's good. So right here, it is, she made a whole new doc here. It's the Yellow Studio Press and Visibility Campaign 2026. She put a little lemon at the top because she just knows me. But look at the formatting of this. How beautiful it is. I've got headlines, I've got titles, I've got line breaks, emojis that draw my attention, remind me like, oh, this is what this is. This is what that is. I can go through her and just, I've got the contact lists. I've got the different categories of contact lists that we're going to contact phase one. An article. I've got campaign phases. And then I have a little checklist. It's so fantastic. In fact, I did this and I did this. And I haven't done that yet. And I haven't done that yet. Okay, so is this not beautiful or what? I mean, would you like to have something this nice come out of your Claude conversation? You know, you have this really long strategy conversation back and forth and back and forth, and there's all this information, and you get to the end and you're like, how am I going to ever put all of this information in order in my brain, and how am I going to come back to it and review it to know what I need to do? And Claude did that. Claude made it so that it's easy for me to come back and review and understand what is this. I just love it. I just love it so much. So much. Delane says, oh, wow. So when you tell it you want to strategize from past chats, it knows to go straight to your folder named strategize. Yeah, I just say, I want to work on strategy. I do say, can you go to my Google Drive and look at our strategy conversations previously? Yeah. She says she's in awe. It is very helpful, Jilly Bean. She says it's impressive and helpful. Impressful. It's impressful. I made up a new word. So yeah, it's just really, really amazing. Okay, so you get that beautiful doc, and I think that's so much better even than really my copy paste back and forth of our conversation, because I still have to go through that and find what the talking points are or what the task parts are. And so having this is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thanks, Chili Bean. Impressful. It's all thanks to you. That I came up with that fun word. Okay. So it does that. Amazing. Amazing. And then I wanted to show you this other cool thing that I just realized the other day. I think it's always done this maybe, but I didn't know. You know how you just use a thing forever and you just don't even know how things work until you try them. So this was for tonight's YouTube live, and I asked for the assets for the YouTube live. And let's say I want to reply to this last comment she made. That comes in at well under the 500 character limit. And I go like this, and I'm like, I highlight this. Now, normally I would have highlighted that and copied it, or I would have typed in regards to the 500 character YouTube limit, this is over it, let's say, or something like that. But did you notice this little button right here? Hopefully you guys can see it and I'm not in the way. Yeah. Okay. So this button right here, when you highlight text, you can hit reply, and you reply to that exact text so that you don't have to restate what you're mentioning. So you could go like this. You could say, I'm going to reply to this line, reply and say, I want to change that link. And then you could go down here and say, I'm going to reply. It says, would you like a short email? And you could say, reply, yes. Let's just see if I say yes. Yes. And then she would give me the short email. And so it makes it so much faster than having to reiterate what you've said, what she said. You just highlight the text, hit reply, and you reply to that part. I just love it. I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to screw up our conversation, because she does have a memory now. And if I tell her that link is not the right link anymore or something, then she'll change it forever in our future information. So I'm not going to mess her up. Jill says, oh, impressful. Love it. Jelaine said, will you be teaching us on Notion? I've heard of it, but what is it? If not, can you tell me where to go for lessons? Sure, I could totally put Notion on my list to show you guys how to use it. I am not a Notion expert, so I wouldn't have thought to put it on there, but I could definitely show you what I know about it at least. I mean, just like Claude, I wouldn't say, I know everything Claude does, but I could definitely show you what I have learned with Notion and how I used it to create that dashboard. And then hopefully that would give you some ideas for how you can use it. It's basically like an online visual place to keep all your to-do lists, your notes, your information, but then also it can create separate documents. So it's kind of like Google Drive in a way, but it's like visual. It's all there. Whereas Google Drive, you see all your folders and then you have to open things up to see them. And this is all like right on the page, which I really like for tasks and things like that. Yeah, I'll definitely add it to the list, Elaine. Definitely. Notion does look cool, impressive even, and you explain things so well. Oh, thank you, Jill. You're always the sweetest. I'm sure it will be impressful. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. So yeah, we could definitely, I'll add that to my list and we'll talk about Notion one night for sure. So those are all of my Claude tips that I have for you tonight. Use projects. Projects are right here. Use I didn't get into Claude Code because I haven't done anything with Claude Code yet, but when I learn about it or do something with it, I will share with you guys what I learn. You can go to your chats here that just shows all the chats or your projects. Artifacts are a whole different thing. We can go into that another night. You can search for a chat and see if you can find it that way. I prefer to just start a new chat and ask Claude what we were talking about. And then don't forget, you can go here to your settings and scroll down and change the look and sound of your Claude bot. I agree, Delane. She says, I love our new world. I really feel like having AI is so empowering as a solopreneur because it gives you the opportunity to really dive deep into the things that excite you and inspire you and then lets AI do the heavy lifting on all the like little mundane tasks that you don't want to do. I really love that. Jill says, is Claude Code vibe coding? That is a good question. I'm not sure. I think that it sort of is because I think you can talk to Claude and have it help you write code. But then I think you have to take that code into a vibe coder to actually get an app created from the code or take the code into somewhere else. So I think it helps you write out the code that you need, but then you take that into the actual application that will make the code work. I think that's how it works. That's what I understand of it so far. But like I said, I don't know a lot about code. I know an eensy bit and I'm learning and, doing more and more. Oh, there is someone I could recommend to you though, that is really great. Has a really, really cool, if you want to learn more about vibe coding, let me see if I can find it. Okay. I'll put it here in the chat. AI Vibe Code Live Lab.com. If you go to that is Jasper's vibe coding class, and that is really good. In fact, that's kind of the place I've learned most of the coding stuff I've learned, and also from Sabrina Romanov. She goes live every Friday on YouTube at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Sabrina does. And she also has like tons of free resources on YouTube, like pre-recorded videos on YouTube, how to learn a lot about code, about AI, about everything. So she's really cool. I love her so much. She's so smart and she just shares. She inspires me all the time. And then Jasper's is a paid class, but it's well worth it. if you want to learn vibe coding. She will help you get started for real. And then even help you along the way as you work on your vibe coded app or project that you're working on. She goes live every Saturday and helps with projects and helps you move forward on the project you're working on. And so I try to pop into those on Saturdays as often as I can and just kind of listen and glean as much information as I can about vibe coding, since I know so little about it. I figure the more I listen, the more I'll start to understand. I think also once I start trying to do it is when I'll really, really get into it better. But both of those are such great resources for coding. Yes, Jasper is from Secret AI Society. Yes, she is fantastic. I love her so much. She's really great. So yeah, do you guys have any other questions? Thanks for celebrating the 50th anniversary, 50th anniversary. If we're counting by the day, no. Thanks for celebrating my 50th episode with me. I am so excited I was able to show you some things that Claude does that you might not have known. I was a little bit nervous. I was like, maybe they know every little thing that Claude does already, and I'm going to be like, you're behind, lady. No. Thank you, Jill. She's happy 50th. Yay. Can't wait till 100. Woo. We'll have to have some kind of little party celebration of some sort. So thank you guys, gals, for joining me tonight. Thanks for being here. And I can't wait until tomorrow. What are we going to teach? Oh, let's go see. Let me tell you what my live is for tomorrow. Oh no, tomorrow's not Friday. Oh, I don't know what it's going to be because I switched. So today was going to be 3 things I've learned this month, but then most of the things were Claude. So I switched it to being about Claude, and now I need to come up with what tomorrow's going to be. So surprise, tomorrow's a surprise. Friday though, we will be talking about Nano Banana 2 fun image ideas. We started that like long, cool GitHub list of image ideas, and we did product mock-ups and like marketing stuff. So Friday we're going to do social media and is it social media? Oh, it's social media and marketing. Oh, we did e-commerce and virtual studio section last time, and this time we're going to do social media and marketing. So that's going to be fun on Friday. I like to try to do something fun on Fridays, so we all have a fun Friday night instead of analytics Monday nights. Oh, so funny. As pretty as those analytics are on Metricool, analytics are just not that fun to me either. If they aren't fun for you, I totally understand. But I do get into learning, what made this spike? Why did this post perform so much better than the others? And that's another fun thing that AI helps us do, reviews those things and helps us find the patterns and find out why they did so well. So Delane says, I should send you a cake with candles. This has been amazing. Oh, thank you, Delane. You're so sweet. I love cake, but I wonder how it would make it through the mail. It'd be all smushed. Thank you, Jilly Bean. She says, it's always fun. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining me. I look forward to tomorrow for our surprise session, and I'll see you then. Have a great night. Love you. Mwah. Good night.